No unity, no power.
White power for white people. Black power for black people. 1967. The Black Panther Party. The movement.
Freedom.
Let's talk about freedom.
We will not bow down to racism.
We will not bow down to
injustice.
We will not bow down to
exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand.
Now this is time to free your mind and your soul. Yo, after story has never been told. Ladies, you got to demand what you want, and what we want is respect, right?
Come and take a walk with me, closer walk with thee, see what only I can see.
Sisters, check this. Watch this.
turn us loose, set us free from all the chains that bind me.
Let us run in our own direction.
Let us go, set us free from all this propaganda and lies that your people try to teach us. I know why you would like to bring us down.
Because we have all the deals on you. You try to tell us that our lives don't mean a thing, but we know so much better, so we're gonna take up the freedom.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. We are back. The recap is back. This is season 2. We are so glad you were here to join us. Get comfortable, y'all. Get your popcorn, get your tea, get whatever you need, because we are here in the studio with a whole bunch of updates about what's going on in Camden. This is the recap, our broadcast where we expose the lies and stand on the truth. We will not be intimidated by people in authority nor social media tough guys. We keep it clean sometimes. We keep it a beam, and we open the chat because we talk back. So you can speak in the chat right now. Give us your input. Know that we're on Thursdays. We'll let you know we're on a frequency of every other Thursday, but we'll let you all know more about that. But if you all remember season 1, if you weren't there for season 1, go to the Camden Parent and Student Union Facebook page, and the lives are over there, so you can get more in tune to what we've been talking about for season 1. But now we're on season 2 because the block is hot. Good day, everybody. I'm Ronsha Dickerson. I am a champion for justice in Camden. I'm a Camden resident. For all those who are meeting me, I'm the executive director of Camden Parent and Student Union, the chair of Camden We Choose, and I am just a good old mama that is enjoying talking about education. Thank you, Dre. Dre is always here with me, giving me love. So I just want y'all to know that we are here and we are in it today because we got a lot to cover, but we ain't got a lot of time, all right? So stay focused because we got some things to talk about. All right, so I got a correspondent coming in just a sec, but I'm going to get into the day. So let's talk about the quote. Dre, put the quote up on the thing, because the quote for the day is, and y'all saw we kicked it off with a song, Freedom from Black Panther, because listen, we will not bow down to. We will not bow down. But quote for the day, if you do not know Amilcar Cabral, get to know the revolutionary in Guinea. This is his quote, and this is not the full quote, but the quote says, hide nothing from the masses of our people, tell no lies, expose lies whenever they are told, and mask no difficulties, mistakes, or failures, claim no easy victories. And that's what we're here for. We are not going to lie. We're going to tell you the truth. We're going to unmask everything. We are going to talk about how difficult it was, mistakes that were made, and then we are not going to talk about it's been an easy victory. So we're on the road right now. So if you are tuned in, tell your people to join us. We are live on Camden Parent Union Facebook page. Let's get into it. So I want to bring in right now our correspondent. This is my sister in the struggle with me. You see her at a lot of events in the city of Camden. She's also one of my UPK sisters, Union Community Center sisters. She is a huge part of my life and a part of the community of Camden. Give it up for Janice Dean, y'all. She's a champion for the truth here. Hey, sister, welcome. Never gonna stop. All right, we're gonna be playing in here. We're gonna get serious though. Dre, I'm gotta stay focused, okay? Dean, how are you?
I'm doing good,
Feeling
thank you. How
Thanks
are
for,
you?
I'm good.
Happy Friday.
Happy
Mother's Day.
All the things are happening.
Yes.
Yes. So
My
we,
Umi say.
yes. We are excited to be here with everybody and let you all know that we are prepared to go through a timeline for education. Topic today: Camden City Public Schools, Camden City School District.
Yes.
Camden City's upper brass, Camden City's advisory board,
Yes.
Camden City's everything when it comes down to education. We're going to talk about it. We're going to walk some folks back and then bring you forward. So to all of our activists, advocates, organizers out there, chime in because we're not going to tell no lies, y'all. We're going to keep it real. We're going to keep it a beam. We're going to keep it 100. Okay?
Period.
So before I get into it, before I get a question today, Dre, I want to play that video. So if you haven't seen Sinners, this is just a small part. I love this scene in Sinners because I'm going to thread it throughout here when Wunmi,
Oh, I gotta go see this.
who played Miss Annie, Wunmi played Miss Annie, and she said something to Smoke when the vampires were trying to figure out how to let him know that they were cool, right? So something about the way she said to him, careful. Watch the scene. She says, careful. I want to give that to everybody in the studio and listen to our voice. You got to tell people careful because sometimes people be out here lying to us in our face, playing in our face, talking as if we don't know what's going on. So we telling everybody careful. All right, so let's play the scene from Sinners. I love Sinners.
What y'all doing? Just step aside and let me on in now.
Why you need him to do that? You big and strong enough to push past us?
Well, that wouldn't be too polite now, would it, Miss Annie? I don't know why I'm talking to you anyway. Smoke.
Don't talk to him. You talking to me right now. Why you can't just walk your big ass up in here without an invite, huh? Go ahead. Admit to it.
Admit to what?
That you dead.
So you listening to this? Now we out here playing games, telling ghost stories in place of doing what we ought to do.
And what is it we supposed to be doing?
Being kind to one another and being polite. Now we is one people, and we shouldn't go in barging into other folks' places uninvited. So you've been in and out of here all day. Ain't never need an invite then. Yeah, something ain't adding up. Can I at least get my money?
Careful.
That's the one, Dre. That's it. That's the one right there. But did y'all notice how she was like, be careful? She gave him a look. I'm going to thread Wunmi out of this whole entire conversation because y'all going to see people who've been playing in our face and we telling y'all, watch them. Be careful, okay?
Careful.
All right, so if you love that, let us know how much you love that scene because that's one of my favorite scenes. I've been to see Sinners several times with different audiences because I love it that much. All right, Dre, question of the day. If anybody remembers us from season 1, Dean, we have a question of the day.
Question.
Question of the day is, this is just a question you want to ask folks. How many days has it been that we've been waiting for our mayor, Camden's mayor, Victor Karstafen, to make a statement regarding several issues that his constituents have been screaming about? Number one, the assault case with Minister Wasim Muhammad. Now, before people start beating me up, don't get mad about us still asking this question because to date, Mayor Karstafen has not made a statement about what happened with the school board. Remember, this is education.
He
We're
said,
talking
"That's
about
my
school
guy."
board. He did say that's my guy, but
said,
that
"That's my
wasn't.
guy."
But he never made a statement about what has happened, his resignation, what was going on with the school district at
Nothing.
that time. Very quiet. So it has been how many days, Ray? Go to the next slide. 238 days, y'all. 38
And counting.
And still counting without a statement by Mayor Vic Karstafen. So y'all, I'm just framing this, let y'all know that we have not stopped doing the work. We are still counting down. Still counting down, but we've seen our mayor make appearances.
Oh, yes.
Current day, we see him and Mr. Karstafen walking around the community
As buddies.
as you are my friend. Remember we did You Are My Friend with Patty LaBelle?
Yes.
I'm gonna stay focused. All right. So before we kick off education, we want to show y'all this video. We got to show you this quick video about how the community members reacted to the news of the state takeover back in, that was like 2013. Now, I'm doing this to bring y'all all through a timeline of what we did. We didn't catch everything in the timeline in our catchment, but we did get some critical things. And those fact checkers can check, but also put in there other things we want to miss out of this timeline, because I know we didn't talk about it's coming to in a sec. We didn't talk about Renaissance schools when they started. We didn't talk about also when the enrollment system started with the
What was that?
Camden enrollment, or
Camden 1?
Camden, whatever it's called. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We didn't talk about that, but let's watch this video because it's key people. I want you to watch this video. There's key people in this video that are now currently either have been in political office seats, still in political office seats, or have made their claim to fame by way of them being a spokesperson for this video. I want you to watch it. History don't lie. And also, what's important to watch, hold on, Dre, I'm almost there. The other thing to watch is look at the protesters that's outside. Look at the protesters outside about how we reacted to them taking over our schools. This is the time of Governor Chris Christie. He came to Camden and said our schools were failing. He said that our schools were underscoring. He said that our students were not graduating at a high rate. Now, was that a setup? Because some people say that was true, Rasha, but have our schools ever been fully funded and given the resources that it needs? Play the video, Dre. Go ahead. Let people make the decision for themselves.
Even before the governor announced his plan for the state to take over the Camden School District, a few protesters gathered outside to express their outrage.
The governor's coming in here. He found a way how to tap into our education money. This is our $400 million for our school system. We know how to run our government. The problem is the mayor and the city council appoint people, and they represent their own personal needs and their job.
But New Jersey's Education Commissioner Christopher Surf insists this isn't about money or politics. The goal is to give children in this failing district a chance at a better education, and Assemblyman Whip Wilson says he shares that goal.
But like the governor said, and I agree with this, something has to be done. Something to be done different. This is a different governor, and we had too many failing things happen here in Camden City. So therefore, something has to be done, maybe have to be radical changes.
But longtime residents and stakeholders point out the state already has a fiscal monitor overseeing Camden's finances, so they question whether further state intervention will make a difference.
We have to change the game. So I'm hopeful, but I am cautiously optimistic based upon our past history, with trying to reform urban education.
Skeptics point to districts like Newark, Jersey City, and Patterson, where they say there are few visible signs of improvement even after about 20 years of state intervention.
I don't know if things have gone well with the other state takeover districts. Camden is in a different situation. I think our education results are a bit more dire.
Others wonder if the governor will keep his promise to work with the teachers union and other stakeholders.
Concerned about what I did not hear today. I did not hear any cooperation or any consultation with our union, our administrators union. But in the same sense, the state has removed 4 principals already. They're planning to remove several more this year, but no one had mentioned that today.
But these parents say something has to be done to turn around Camden's low-performing schools, so they support the governor's plan, and so does school board member and parent Felicia Reyes-Morton.
I think it's great that they've come to lend a hand and to kind of do this as a partnership.
And I see the need of a change in Camden because a lot of our students, I talk to the parents and the students, their educational level is not where it's supposed to be.
No one here expects change to come overnight, but they're hopeful the change that does come is in the right direction. For NJ Today, I'm Desiree Taylor in Camden.
Y'all saw the video. Me and Denise in here naming names. So if you look at the video, it's a very powerful video because it was when the state was taken over and all the people were in. That's the original Camden High School, the auditorium. The library. They're in there. So they held a meeting there. You have you saw in the front. Remember at the top of this, the protesters outside in the snow, in the cold. Ulysses Delgado, who you still see currently organizing and fighting and advocating for Camden.
Yes.
Gary Frazier, who everybody got something to say about, but he's been on their front line for a very long time.
Yes.
And also Brother Magaliso Davis. That was the 3 that you saw captured in that scene. But then they showed the video. That was Commissioner Surf, who was the education commissioner back at that time. You saw former lead of, I think, the baseball league, Brian Morton.
Yes.
You saw Naima Watson, who's currently the provost at Rutgers, and she was a appointed school board member at that time.
Oh, yes.
You saw Mr. Gunning, who was a principal and over the principals of the Kansas City School District. I don't believe Mr. Gunning is no longer in the district, but he was one of our strongest. He was a strong male principal and
He
male
was.
presence.
Mhm.
You saw Miss Rosemary Jackson. May she rest in peace. She's known
Yes.
she was a board member at the time. She was the last of the elected school board members.
Long time freedom
Long
fighter.
time freedom fighter that
Mhm.
we lost as well. You saw Felicia Reyes Morton, who was also there as a parent, and now before that time she came on board as a board member.
Mhm.
And then you saw Miss Karen Reddix. Is it Merrick's?
Merrick's.
Karen Merrick's.
Merrick's. Mhm.
Forgive me if I butcher her name. She was a parent, and now she's a school board member. Isn't this crazy? Like how all these people have kind of built their claim to fame. So that was a school closed. People were saying that it was good for the schools to close. I mean, it's good for the state takeover to happen. All this stuff was happening. People was all on board for it. 2013. Let's go to the next one, Dre. Then we brought in Mr. Payman Rahanafard. Career facts. He was a 6th grade teacher in New York City. Central office. He was in New York City for the DOE for Newark Public Schools. He was homeboy with Cammie Anderson, who was the superintendent over there in Newark schools.
Okay.
The Newark Student Union kicked out. Okay. And then 2013 to 2018, he was the superintendent of our school district, Kansas City School District, appointed by Governor Christie. So when that video happened, within that same time frame, he appointed Payman Rahanafard, who didn't have any superintendent experience, as the superintendent of Camden Public Schools, controlling one of the biggest budgets in the state of New Jersey and having one of the most power because he didn't have a board to talk to. He
With
didn't have a
no
board.
experience.
No
at all.
experience.
I don't even. What was his credentials?
Yeah. Co-founder and board of directors for Propel America Career Readiness Program. Careful. Co-founder and CEO of Timely Schools, a school scheduling technology company. He's a graduate of the Broad System. Let me tell you about the Broad Foundation. This is something people got to know about.
Give it to us.
The Broad Foundation was established by Eli and Eda Broad. It focused on improving public schools education. It started particularly in Los Angeles, California. They support various programs, including Broad Center for Management of School Systems and the Broad Residencies at Urban Education, aiming to train leaders to improve school systems governance. They also fund research initiatives in areas like personalized learning and STEM education. So the Broad system is known to, how can I say this? Known to graduate superintendents so that they can go into urban school districts and close them. Because again, let's break this down, including management of school systems.
Systems.
Got what I'm saying there?
Yeah.
So this Payman Rahanafard. So his tenure was 2013 to 2018. And in his time frame, what he did next slide, Dre, is he laid off Camden staff. Camden staff received layoffs notice in 2014. Teachers decried new rounds of layoffs in 2015, and then layoffs, firing, other changes for Camden in 2016. So in 2013, he laid off about 200 people, mostly aide, support staff, and some teachers. Part of that initial cut costing after the state takeover in June of 2013. 2014, he came back and laid off about 100 teachers and staff, particularly at closing of the schools like Pine Point and Yorkshire, because that was the goal. And then he shifted some of those positions to the Renaissance schools.
Right. Yep.
They hired them as non-union staff. Then in 2015, he did 75 to 100 more layoffs due to budget shortfalls and declining enrollments in traditional schools. Many of those cuts targeted paraprofessionals. Remember that era?
Yep.
The paraprofessionals getting fired.
A lot of
paras
paras.
and clerical staff.
And then I think they changed the paras too at that point too. It was like para A's, para B's. You remember that?
Then in 2016, he did about 50 more layoffs with an additional reduction for as more Renaissance schools open. Some teachers were hired at Renaissance schools, but under different contracts, but they weren't union.
Weren't part of
So
the
he was firing from school district Camden and putting them over to the Renaissance schools. We ain't talk about Renaissance schools. That's a whole nother Oprah, y'all. We got to talk about Renaissance schools
Just the
at another
facts.
time. But know that Renaissance schools have been, as Camden schools are declining, Renaissance schools are coming up, okay, with enrollment, with our teachers, with a confusion of contracts, all that's happening. So estimated in Payman's time between 2013 and 2016, he laid up approximately about 400 to 450 people. Woo, my Lord, okay? So for the union impact, the CEA reported that over 400 union positions lost, they lost 400 union members in 2016 through the layoffs and attrition that happened through Payman Rahanafard. Okay, so let's go to the next slide. I told y'all, I'm gonna keep telling y'all careful. Next slide, Dre. So here's one of the schools. Here's a product of the schools that were closed because we warned everybody back at that time. In 2013, when this was happening, here's what happened. So in 2014, he closed, Paymont Hannaford closed Pine Point Family School, and the students were reassigned to other districts. And then he closed Yorkshire Family School, and he merged them with Kramer. Well, Yorkshire never quite got closed. They closed Kramer. That was the school we were talking about.
Kramer. Yeah.
And then Loretta Twine Cream School, it didn't close. That it became a pre-K to kindergarten school.
Yeah, they took out, what was that, the 8th grade? Or
Yes,
they took out middle school.
They took all the middle school and the lower classes and made it pre-K and early childhood school.
Right.
And then he also and so the transitioning schools that were converted, he converted all those schools over to be a KIPP school, or an uncommon school, or a matching school. So you got schools like Bonzel, Pine Point, all the what's the schools down off of next to oh my God, forgive me, Camden, down in your Northgate 1.
What is that? No, that's
Raphael
Molina.
Yeah. The whole Molina industry changed. All those things changed. So fact check us on the schools. I don't have everything laid out correctly, but I know for sure that in Paymont Hannaford's time frame, we lost
Cooper's Point,
the Molinas. We lost
is it McGraw?
McGraw. We lost
Wiggins, Whittier.
We lost Whittier. We lost Whittier. We lost Sumner. We lost the Bonzo complex, all the Bonzo schools. We lost all those schools. So that's in pay. So follow the timeline, y'all. It's 2013 all the way up to 2013 all the way up to 2017.
Okay.
So then when he did those layoffs, remember this, the students walked out. CAM students walked out and they did a protest in 2015. And that was one of the biggest protests that we had. So the students were the, let's say, the champions of the time of showing people power. The students took to the streets and they walked out. It was every school before we had this merger of all the schools on one campus. It was every school from across the city that walked out, all the high school, particularly Creative Arts, Woodrow Wilson, it's now Eastside High, Camden High School, when it was the original castle. And then you also had Brim.
I think, was that when, wasn't that when the district, the board building was down at the waterfront?
At the waterfront, yes.
Right? Before they moved the original building.
Street, yes. So the students protested and walked there.
Yeah.
Right? So that's back in 2015. So moving forward, then we got the community came together and we sued the school district, the person you saw in the beginning of that video, Mr. The Commissioner of Education, and the superintendent Paymont Hannaford, all the people who were in the upper brass of education for Camden, we went back and we sued them. We did a lawsuit, a class action suit against them, and to put a line in the sand and say we need to get back to local control.
Right.
So we were asking for the school board to be moved from a Type 1 school board to a Type 2 school board. Type 1 was appointed, Type 2 was elected.
Right.
So we went into different levels of going to court with different, judges, and we ended up in appellate court winning in our favor to get the question put on a ballot for the community to vote on whether we want to change the school board from a Type 1 to a Type 2. But the question on the ballot was, would you vote yes to continue to a Type 1, vote no to go to a Type 2? People didn't understand that. So we made the no vote. If you see the no vote slide, that's how we got the no vote to become the version of us taking back control over us getting back to a Type 2 school board, which got us to be able to elect the school board. Now, mind you, the poison pill was they would remain advisory because Camden is under, again, Chris Christie came down and put us under state control. So we're not a local district that's open to have our own autonomy.
Right.
We are a school district that has a state-appointed superintendent and also state monitoring and also the eye of the Commission of Education of New Jersey on Camden City because we're under state control. Maybe one of the only cities that left that are on state control. That's back in 2013-ish, right?
Okay.
So we did the no vote. Now here, this is what happened. After Paymont Hannaford stepped down in 2018, then Superintendent Katrina McComb, who was his deputy superintendent, became the superintendent.
Oh.
So she became superintendent in September of 2019. I got to get fact check on that. I believe she became superintendent he stepped down in 2018. I believe by 2019 she was the formal superintendent of the state, like he was, right? And the first question, the order of business for her, we were in the middle of the vote, the no vote. she said that she felt, and you look here on the text of the thing, it says, acting Camden City School District Chief Katrina McCombs and Mayor Frank Moran at a backpack giveaway on September 6th in 2018, the school chief says she was in favor of keeping a mayoral appointed school board or school appointed board. Next slide, Dre. Careful. I'm gonna keep telling y'all, be careful. You gotta watch the red flags, they coming. So ultimately, even with all the administration and the city government against us and them doing all the mailers and stuff against the community, and we were all out there voting no, saying vote no. Shout out to CEA, shout out to CWA, shout out to all the activists and advocates and organizers that were a part of it. Shout out to Camden's Parent Union, shout out to Gary Frazier. I got to shout him out because he was a big part of it. Shout out to so many people. I don't want to even name names because it was so many people involved in that process. It was so many people involved that we showed the city how we will fight back, and we ended up winning.
It was a big win.
It was a big win.
And I don't think people realize, like, when you go to vote, sometimes, a lot of times people are focused on who to pick. Right. The question sometimes gets overlooked. So people were really focused, like, go down to the bottom. I'm looking for the question. Boom. Real voting power.
And there was some people's first time voting. I remember that time frame we were in it was critical. So we're letting you see that this is a timeline. So we're still going. So after that, we weren't done. There was a Katrina. Now she's no longer acting. She's the current superintendent.
And you were right. It was April 9th, 2019.
Thank you. 2019. Now she's the current superintendent, and she's saying that she wants to close vet school. So we found out from the school Development Authority, SDA, was not coming out. School Development Authority, that there was nothing wrong with vet schools building. That was the reason why Superintendent McCombs was saying she wanted to close it. They said the building wasn't up to par. Well, they came back and did another assessment, and they said the building is fine. But she was like, no, based on what we have, blah, blah, blah. Y'all can fact check all that kind of mess.
Because they were using words like deplorable.
Yes.
You remember that?
Making it seem rat infested. Come on. So with that all being said, the community teamed up with CEA and many other organizations, and shout out to former president of CEA, Dr. Keith Benson. We got with him when he decided to walk the 40 miles for equity, and we all walked with him. We all made the trip. We took students and everything, and we were able to, next slide, Dre, save vet school. Camden School slated for closure got its reprieve. Students and parents celebrate decision to keep Camden schools open. That was the work of the community. Stay with the timeline, y'all, because this is Katrina's work. So then after that, the next thing is she came up with 3 more schools to close. This is when she wanted to close Sharp and also Kramer and Wiggins. We lost 3 more schools. So remember, we were at 26. Then Paymont closed about 9 or merged 9 with Renaissance schools. And now Katrina took away 3 more schools. So now we're about maybe 15 schools now. So Sharp got closed. Those students were moved to a different schools in that area or transported and back them into the Renaissance schools. Same thing with Kramer schools, the preparatory school over East Camden. Same thing with their students, and also Wiggins. Wiggins got closed. Wiggins is no longer a school. It's now organization buildings.
Yeah.
You got what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Forgive me, sometimes it don't be coming down because there's so much to say. I'm trying to relax and tell y'all the story. This is where you are. So with that being said, let's look at some facts. Let's look at some data here. Go to the next slide, Dre. So that's some of the fighting that we did. Let you know, we built up kind of some background on Paymon. But remind you, Renaissance schools are threaded through this whole conversation. So while we're over here fighting for our public schools, Renaissance schools, Mastery, KIPP, and Uncommon are, number one, having Camden enrollment, using that as a system to vacuum our students out of our public schools because so many are closing so rapidly, and some of them, they're being named as deplorable, rat infested, all these things that parents are making their informed decision based on what they're hearing and saying, I want to move my students over here to this school. So we're losing enrollment. So what did the schools do? They fought back and said, no, our schools are open, they're doing well. Bring your kids back over here. You don't have to go to Camden enrollment. You can come register your children inside
to
the school.
Yes.
Got that part? So with that being said, Camden School District has lost half of its enrollment students since the takeover in 2013. But we wonder why. Look at those numbers. We almost lost 50% of our students because you got to remember, in about 2013, 2014, Renaissance schools were in effect. And at that time, Paymon was closing a lot of our schools, and then Katrina came right behind him and closed more schools. So this is the reason why it ain't because our schools are deplorable, because they could have used that money from the School Development Authority and invested in our schools. All right, so just follow me, fact check if you want to. I'm not here to argue. I'm here to speak truth.
To power.
All right, let's go. All right, Dean. So we move it on. So then no one's talking about the reason why we're under state control.
Give it to us.
You know this is the thing that gets under my skin. Shout out to the people who scream about New Jersey's CUSAC, the New Jersey Single Accountability Continuum, the New Jersey CUSAC. So we were put under state control because we were not in compliance to CUSAC. So CUSAC governs us in 5 areas. I talked about this before in our other recaps. So look at one of the episodes. You go back in season 1, and we break down CUSAC. Okay. But if you look at the report that came out in 2023 and 24, mind you, Katrina McCombs, as a state-appointed superintendent, she was only supposed to do a 5-year stint. And we were under state control. Her goal was to get us from under CUSAC.
Which we have never gotten.
We have not gotten there yet. So based on her report, when she came in, we were all like 4 different areas. We were like under 80%. We were like 70, 60, maybe 40. But now, current date, we are, if you look at the slide, instruction and program, I keep telling y'all that's the one you got to keep your eye on, because this is where we're about to lose a whole bunch of teachers and support staff in this area, but we're going to talk about that in a second. Fiscal management, they say we're 90% efficient.
That's kind of high.
I think that's high, but I also want to question, are we really fiscally managing? We're going to talk about that in a second. Governance, 100%, operations, 100%, and personnel are saying we're 100%. So if we're on this track, what is going on in instruction and program? Why are they holding at 65%? Because we got vacancies in the district. We're over-testing our students in this district. We don't have the proper program and curriculum in this district to help our students soar. We have our children really pretty much being teach to test.
And pick up new curriculum.
Go ahead.
Try those out. Make the teachers go to all of these trainings.
Go ahead.
Try that out.
Go ahead.
It doesn't work. Don't even give a chance for anything to work. Oh, that don't work. Throw that away. Throw them books over. Now this year, let's start on another one.
You better go ahead and teach on it. And I want to say this to the parents. To my parents, I love y'all because I'm a parent too. We in here as parents talking about our children. Ask your babies how many tests they take in a day or within a week. Ask them. You'll be surprised how often our children are on the computer and taking tests. It's crazy.
High demands. High demands.
Oh my God. So with all that being said, we are still under CUSAC, something that Mrs. McCombs was supposed to get us out of. She's been in the district for, I think, over 7 years now as a superintendent, and her one job has been to get us from under CUSAC. Mind you, we've been under state control for now 11 years. Now go back and fact check. Newark was under state control for over 20 years. So was Jersey City, and so I think it was Patterson. If I got that right. All those cities up in North Jersey, state control. Newark is no longer under state control. I don't believe Patterson is either. But we, Camden, we're only 11 years. We've been a decade under state control, and we have not got from under CUSAC. But we brought down Payman Rahanifer, who left out of here smoking with money in his pockets lined, and his cabinet did not only come down here and work for him, but he also got degrees at Rutgers and any other surrounding.
Okay, because didn't the wife get her degree?
We are not going to sit up here. We're going to tell the truth. Right, we ain't here telling the truth.
After she was done, it seemed like he was done.
It seemed like they were like, we got our money and we split. We got our degrees and we split on to the next. So it's very important that we discuss that. We're not saying everything, but y'all got to hear the nuances that's in between these things.
Definitely.
So moving forward, this is where we're at right now. Dre, I want to set up this video. There's a scene in the movie Get On Up, a James Brown movie, that I love to see because it speaks to how we operate as people.
Come on.
Now, I want to tell the truth here. The whole truth. This scene talks about what we do. I want to name Mr. Stanley White, who always talks about 30 pieces of silver.
Shout outs to Mr. White.
Mr. Stan, Uncle Bone. I can call him Uncle Bone. All right, y'all better not be calling him Uncle Bone. But I want to make it clear that he is a revolutionary fighter. He was the one who always said that the district people will sell the city out for 30 pieces of silver. Biblical. He went biblical ones.
Yeah.
This scene right here that we about to show is queuing up. Is talking about the same spirit. It's a scene where, at the time, Chadwick Boseman, may he rest in peace, he was playing James Brown, and the other brother, I can't remember his name, he was playing Little Richard. They were talking about Little Richard's claim to fame, and he said, what is going to happen to you is that white man is going to sit you down and ask you, what do you want? Play it, Dre. Go ahead and play it.
Give it to us.
6 months, the whole world gonna know me. I'm gonna be bigger than Cleopatra. It's written in the stars, James. Yes, sir. I'm gonna have the world on a string. And that when the trouble starts.
And why is that?
That when the devil come out. And he ain't gonna be red with no fiery tail, no. he gonna be white in a fancy suit. And he gonna look you in your eye and ask you what you want. And you best not shake, nor tremble. You best not blink one eye. You gonna be ready for him, James. Huh? You got it inside.
You tell me, Richard. Tell me what you see.
What happened to you? Huh? I know what happened to me, sugar. What happened to you?
All right, so if y'all get the gist of that scene, it's really deep because he's talking about when folks start to get into a space of power, somebody, careful, I'm going to name it, a higher authority is going to come in and say, what deal would you like to make? Go and look you right in your eyes and ask you, what do you want? I'm serious.
That money talk.
Money, and you know what. I'm focusing. All right. So Chadwick Boseman, we found out who the other brother name is, Brandon Michael Smith. Thank you for giving us that scene. Shout out to Reggie Lewis, Bootsy Barnes' grandson. He plays in this movie too. If you ever seen Get On Up, you need to watch it because some of our Camden owners inside this movie.
I was just about to say that. Come through, Camden.
Come on, Camden's on there. Reggie Lewis is Dr. Reggie Lewis is playing the saxophone in the scene. Yes. So
wait, I think Chris is in this too, right?
I don't know.
Chris that played George Foreman.
I don't know if he's in. We
got check. Hold on, I might have got excited.
Okay. So now take us over here. Camden School Superintendent Katrina McComb steps down. So again, she succeeded Payne Hanifer in 2018. So Katrina has been the superintendent for several years now. And again, I want to remind you, her goal as a superintendent is to manage the budget, to keep personnel together, to make sure our curriculum's intact, and many other things. And her job, 100% job, was to get us from under CUSAC. All right, so let's get into it. So she announces. Now I gotta go back to go forward. Let us not forget, y'all, that a letter came out signed by many people who are in position right now, elected position right now, against Katrina McCombs. I did not support the letter, but I also want to remind you that Katrina McCombs, the superintendent, and a lot of the people who signed the letter against her were all Team Camden. I don't want to play this game with y'all. Like, we can't. I'm not saying it in a spirit of, oh, Rasha, you Saudi or you hate it. I'm not. I'm telling you the game that people play.
Right.
These people were gallivanting all around Camden saying they are Team Camden, Team Camden, Team Camden, Team Camden. Then Superintendent McCombs decided to make a decision and say what happened with Minister Muhammad, who was also part of Team Camden, was deplorable. And she said that it's a distraction to our education for our children. You can quote her as you want to. She said, I feel as though we in his best interest to resign. Yeah. Right? When she made that statement, was her, because I didn't add this in the timeline, y'all. So much to add in the timeline. You got to go back and research how Minister Muhammad got to step down. It wasn't Katrina McCombs. It wasn't the governor. It wasn't the acting commissioner of education. It was the people.
The people.
We did that. Shout out to Vida Neal. Vida Neal was also, I will never be a blocker or a hater. People can hate. Listen, Jill Scott said, I'm going to hate on me, hater.
Hate on me, haters.
Because now, come on, it's going to happen. I don't know. I'm going to keep telling you all the truth because I ain't here to argue. I'm here to speak the truth. Right. So when that happened, it wasn't because of Katrina that he stepped down. It was pressure from the community. And shout out to Minister Muhammad. You did the right thing. Thank you. Let's move on to glory and deal with the issues later. But we're not done yet. We're going to get back to Minister Muhammad in just a second.
Okay.
Okay, we'll get back to that. So she decided to say that okay, y'all, work with me here. If you went to the school board meeting, after that letter went out, Mrs. McComb said, I'm not going anywhere. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
She was very clear. She got like Centerville clear, like, I'm not going anywhere. If God will have me be here, she went to look it up, check it out. But then she announces that she's stepping down. And not only stepping down, but going to the deputy position for the state commissioner of education.
Wigs.
Up at the top.
Big wigs.
Up at the top. So I'm thinking, this is me thinking, this could be Rasha's opinion. If you did not get our schools from under CUSAC, how can we trust you at the highest level? I just hope that this is a lesson for everybody. Remember, we went all the way back to when Governor Christie came down here and gave our schools away and put us under state control, and everybody was on board for that. And now we are 11 years in the game under state control, and sold our schools, sold the land. Our students are not in safe environments, in safe school settings. Renaissance Schools is flourishing in Camden. Got some of the prettiest buildings and all these things. We are in a 3 or 4 system school district in one small city.
Yes.
That's only 70,000 people. And now we got the current superintendent stepping down again.
No, but it only makes sense, right?
Talk to me.
When you're at a job and you get promoted, it's because you do well. You're doing well. Right? Usually you're managing your staff well. So then people say, hey, let's take you up.
Let's move you up.
So in this case, you would think that with her moving to the state level,
that she had done well.
That's all I'm saying.
I want to go back to James Brown movie. Get on up. That man is going to look you in your face and ask you, what do you want? That's all I'm going to say. I ain't inciting nothing. I'm just going to say 30 pieces of silver has been going on in the city for a very long time. Getting back to the all right, we're almost there, y'all, because we're going through the facts fast. Okay, so now here's the buzz. Just recently, the superintendent of schools announces that Camden School District makes a very, very difficult cuts amid a $91 million budget deficit. Where? Where did this come from? Where? Now, Janice, you and I have been at several school board meetings.
A lot.
People in a chat, let us know. You've been at several school board meetings. Have you ever heard the superintendent say that we were in a crisis of a deficit?
Never.
A budget deficit.
Never.
Never have I heard it. Never have I heard it. I got a note. Once my notebook. It was a note that I got that it was said.
Go on and give us the facts now.
I gotta get it. Hold on.
Go on and give us the facts.
I gotta go back to it because I've been keeping notes, y'all. It was said that just last year, Superintendent McComb said that she didn't speak to it. She said 51 million deficit. She had made a point about it, but she said we're fine. We're gonna come through this.
Oh.
So she never announced that we were in a deficit. She said that we have 51 million. We have a 51 million deficit last year, but she did not announce that. She had made a kind of like a statement to internal people, but never announced it to the community. Because at that point, I'm sure that you, and everybody in this room would have been like, "Where's that money? What does that mean?" So now we're going to get into what happened. Okay. The teachers never got their contracts. They just recently got their contracts won just recently. So it's not that money was already put aside. Wasim Muhammad got sued for how many $1 million?
The people say $2 million.
$2 million.
The $2 million.
So put that on the deduction side. That's coming out of the school district budget. $2 million, right? Or maybe 3 or higher. Y'all fact checking in there. Okay.
It's
millions. Up there. It's millions. Okay. That's a few people's salary. Okay. And then we got the Renaissance School budget. Can anybody give us the Renaissance School budget? Because we want to know clearly how much money and shared services and contracts does Camden City School District give to Renaissance Schools?
And just for note, people have been asking teachers, CEA, have been asking for years at the school board meeting, show us facts from Renaissance schools, charter schools.
Why are y'all holding it hostage?
Why?
Why? And then I want to know why this is going on. We got advisory school board members who may not be able to make decisions, but they can ask questions.
Right.
I just want to keep pointing some things out. So I'm going back to this. I'm going back to how much money do we give to Renaissance schools? Speak on how much they sell Hatch for to KIPP.
Wait a minute.
I should not have said that. I'm sorry, y'all. I maybe should have closed my mouth.
Everybody forgot about Hatch.
That Hatch was sold to KIPP, y'all. We told y'all about that in season 1. It was sold to KIPP. Second thing, we are talking about the positions being terminated or rift in the Camden City School District across the board. I believe it's being said that we are losing. Go to the next slide, Dre. Camden City School District is eliminating 289 full-time positions.
Yeah.
They range from attendants and security to teachers, nurses, and even principals.
How?
Some are vacant jobs that won't be filled, but 117 of them are layoffs. 117 individuals will no longer have a job, unfortunately, beginning July 1st. Quote, Mrs. McCombs.
Lord have mercy.
How could you sleep at night doing this to people?
This is what I'm saying.
How can you sleep at night when you're cutting jobs? These people were supposed to retire.
Yeah.
We already have a list of vacancies that you never filled in.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's get into the brass facts, y'all. I want to talk about the brass facts.
Brass facts.
Whew, this is going to be good.
Brass facts.
Mrs. McComb's cabinet has a crew of people.
Come on, because it's real top heavy. What is it? It's real top heavy.
It's real top heavy.
I mean, top heavy, and everybody's a senior.
Everybody's a senior. And you know, according to the facts, we got senior means higher salary.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got people like a Dr. Walker, who's from East Orange. She did all of the delivery of the cuts.
Oh.
Not even a person that we know.
Oh.
It wasn't like it was someone who knew people's backgrounds, like, oh, you've been in the city for how long? You live here, you raised, you did this, you did that.
Right.
Just like you're cut. Either you go back to your original position, you move from administrative level and go back to your original position. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. That's your option. Either cut or you can step down. Okay? Has no experience, from what I understand, of being a superintendent or a deputy superintendent. Also,
like that's kind of it's a pattern here.
It's a pattern. Like, you don't have to have any experience to come to Camden. You can just come in.
On over.
But I want to say that Dr. Walker is making a 6-figure salary.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, in math class, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s,
100,000, and that number can range from 1 to 9.
Ooh.
Okay. Ooh. I'm just saying. Okay. Then. We want to also mention that Mrs. McComb's chief of staff is making probably around $210K.
What? Look.
Or let me say that the school business administrator, that might be. Let me get that right. Not the chief of staff. The school business administrator is making that amount too. And 2 vehicles have been given to these 2 individuals to transport back and forth to North Jersey down to Camden. But one of these individuals they don't come to Camden often. They work remotely.
You better go on and give us the facts.
With a 6-figure salary, y'all. I'm not making this up, and they can try to hide it in the budget, but it's already been exposed. Because we have had enough of the disrespect. This is getting out of hand.
Because Sister Mary Clarence said, if you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
You better wake up. So with all that being said, positions being abolished are family operations coordinators, the heart of our schools. The heart of our schools that deal with all. Let me be real. They don't only deal with parent and student engagement. They are also doing clerical work, secretarial work, covering some classrooms, covering some vacancies. FLCs do everything in that school. Position done. Not going to be in schools effective 2025. 2025 school year in September. Also, climate and culture, where students get a chance to be able to deal with things that are going on. We're not suspending kids. We're not on a school present hotline. We're on talking about bullying and restorative justice. People who have been trained for that, going. Wow. School support services, school-based support services. Certain positions have been going. Crisis specialists. They're going.
And these are the people, go ahead. The support staff are the people that really hold the school together.
The heartbeat of the school.
And a lot of these support staff are from the city.
Yes.
They went to school in the city.
Yes.
They come back. They're good role models for the youth. The youth still reach out to them on the weekends.
They might have graduated from those schools and came back to teach.
Exactly.
And in Camden, you should be able to get hired and have a career here and also be able to retire here.
Yes.
So now let's get into the heavy on the top and cutting salaries in the school. So how do we explain to our community that what we're going to do is we're going to merge schools? So Mrs. McCombs didn't stop at firing over 200 people. She also went over to Morgan Village and ruined that school.
And Rasha,
go ahead.
It was said that because Morgan Village is the only
public junior high school in Camden. We, the community, fought for that. Because remember, y'all used to have East Camden Middle, Morgan Village. What's the other one? East Camden Middle, Morgan Village, and Pine Point. There were the three 6th to 8th grade schools. They're gone. Then we moved to a K through 8th kind of family school. Cool. but we also said that K through 8s don't always give junior high school students a chance to flourish.
Right.
So when they were closing down Camden High School and taking all the schools out of these different school buildings, we said we want to keep Morgan as a middle school.
Yeah.
So we got Morgan as a middle school and had a decent amount of students over there. That's parents were enrolling their students over there to be in a junior high school setting. Honey, they not only did that, as the high school came out, they put a storage room over in the band room. It was full of boxes and things like that. So they didn't even want to have arts over there.
Wow.
That was going. I saw that with my own eyes.
Wow.
Secondly, they put a program in there called SOAR. SOAR is for students, and this is not a dig on students and their parents. SOAR is a program for our students who kind of got caught in the center, like they kind of caught in the middle. So they're in the catchment of I didn't finish junior high school. I might have had truancy issues or learning loss issues or what have you. I'm aged out. I'm not, junior high school is, generally like 11 to about 13, 14 years old. Then they go into the high school level. Well, these students are like 15 and above, 15, 16, 17, 18, and they are trying to finish out an accelerated course to get fast track to high school.
Extra guidance.
Extra guidance. So what they've done over at Morgan Village, if nobody knew this, they got a grant for over something $1 million, and they put those students in the campus at Morgan Village because they claimed it was more space over there. Well, I got a question.
Oh, come on.
I got a question. Why didn't you put them in one of the buildings that you closed down, that you were selling to the Renaissance schools?
Because anything that would make sense.
That would make sense. Why did you have to merge them and ruin the school experience of our junior high school babies in a new school setting? Why did you put them in a different school? Because you have Pride Academy as well. Why didn't you merge them there? Because these students all need a little bit more support. I have love and honor for those babies. Some of those are my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
Some of those are people that we raised in our community center.
Right.
However, they need a little bit more support because apparently the school system has failed them and the city has failed them. That's why we even have to have a Pride Academy and a SOAR Academy, because there's failure inside the city.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So with all that being said, now with the merging, with the cut, with the deficit happening, we're merging Morgan Village to now be Pride Academy and SOAR Academy. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're losing a whole bunch of support staff that are the heartbeat of every school. They're gone. We're merging a school to try to find the money, or where money's going to kind of recover. But it's not. There's no rescue plan of rehiring our teachers. There's no rescue plan in this. Everything Katrina has said out loud of her mouth, and I don't know who she talked to. I don't know who she ain't talked to the community, because we will have a full bulletproof plan is coming, and that plan would be to cut your staff. Cut your staff.
Your people at the top.
Cut your people at the top.
That's racking
six-figure people. You don't need all that heavy staff up there. Cut them down and make it work for our teachers and the people who've been in our district to be able to live further. Let's get into some numbers. We're about to close out. Again, the chat is open. Feel free to say what you want to say in the chat. Fact check me. Forgive my stuttering, y'all, because I get excited about talking about the truth. Come on, I got our correspondent on the streets here, Dean. Janice Dean is here with the truth. So let's go into, this is where I get a little confused at, and I want people to help me understand this. The American Rescue Plan. During COVID, remember, our schools were closed for almost a year and a half. We were not using the school buildings. So money was being saved there. All it would take to run the schools and do activities and all those kind of things, we were saving money over there. It may not have been a lot. Somebody can fact check on that, but we were not transporting kids on buses. We didn't have to pay for buses. No field trips. None of that was going on. There was no games going on. None of that stuff was going on. Schools were still on, but it wasn't like a constant running of the school. So I'm trying to do the math. Any black mom in the room, let's write the bills out on the table, because during COVID we were all saving money, right? On top of that, the American Rescue Plan money, the Kansas City School District Federal Fund Allocation Overview, we got in $11.5 million for ESSER 1. ESSER 1 was March 20th, COVID, to September 2022. $11.5 million was given to Kansas City Public Schools in 2020, March 2020 and September 2022. That was during COVID, right? Yeah. We got a second amount of money, $54 million. For ESSER 2, that came in December 2020 to September 2023. So we had extra money. So right now, do the math, that's about $65 million. Then we got an additional in ESSER 3, $106 million, and that came in March 2021 to September 2024. So that money is now leaving. We're now getting to the end of that money, right? You get what I'm saying? So if we had all this money in a district, what was going on?
That top heaviness.
It was hiring people for higher salaries at the top, bringing in new people, making them seniors, cabinet members and everything, and paying them a high salary, not giving the people who was waiting for their contracts their money.
Right.
So now we are in a deficit. It make sense, y'all. I gotta say it make sense. One more breakdown. Go ahead, Drake, to the next slide. This slide over here.
Because numbers don't lie.
Numbers do not lie. The ESSER 2 funding, the total amounts to approximate the $54.5 million. Here's the breakdown. We're supposed to go to mental health awareness and wellness, mitigation efforts to reduce transmission of COVID.
Okay.
Learning loss, improvements in indoor air quality. So this is when they were doing like they were buying a whole bunch of the air purifiers. I want to know what air purifiers are because I heard they're in a warehouse.
Oh man.
So tutoring payments were supposed to be made out of that $51 million. Literacy programs, Chromebooks are supposed to be paid for, nothing out of our pockets. Yes. Home healthcare services, student transportation, instructional support salaries, and other benefits. This was general expenditures that money is supposed to spend on.
Okay.
But if we were doing the work right, we would have been able to see that we would have been able to cut some fat. I just have a question to the audience, and we're about to close here. This is a question I got for the audience, Dean.
Come on. Because we need to hear the people.
We need to hear the people. Why is it that we were, number one, under state control since, y'all saw it, 2013? We've had a state fiscal monitor or some kind of state monitoring going on since 2013. They're supposed to monitor the budget.
Yeah.
Katrina never publicly announced that we were under a $91 million deficit.
And can I just sneak in there?
Don't sneak in.
Also, people are saying, how long did she know? How long did you know that there was a $91 million deficit?
Because when you announce to certain people, and this is I can't reveal my sources that we were at a $51 million deficit, you made it seem like, oh no, that's going to work out because we got other money coming in. I smell mismanagement of funds. I smell poor forecasting. I smell poor projection of our budget. Yeah. I smell a intentional dismantling of Camden Public Schools. Because what's going to happen, and I'm saying this not to incite this, but to let y'all know to be careful, that they want to make Camden New Orleans 2.0. Hurricane Katrina and Hurricane Katrina.
Oh,
y'all got to, and I'm not taking a dig at Superintendent McCombs. I have no hate on people, but that's what it feels like, y'all. Hurricane to hurricane. Because now our district is in an uproar. It is going to be a casualty with our children losing so much support services, educators, people who they've grown up to love and know out of their schools within a snap of a finger.
Yes.
You know the devastation that's going on inside these schools now. People's livelihoods have been uprooted. And all you have to say is it's a hard decision, but you have not chosen to trim the fat out of your own office.
It's that top heavy. I'm telling you,
very
it's top heavy. It's no way if we doing cuts. Some of them up top got to get cut first. But they always say students first.
Always screaming student first. Any CEO or executive director of any organization knows that if my staff is suffering financially, I'm going to take a cut first.
Okay.
Always, I'll take a cut first. Now, some people might say, no, that's not how it goes. But anybody who has sense knows that you cannot not pay your people. Pay your people first, take your salary last.
Ooh,
so
definitely.
With all that being said, this is the first round of us getting to this conversation. We just wanted y'all to know that this is what we've been researching. People said that where's the activists at? Why we've been so quiet? Because we've been doing our homework.
Doing the work.
We've been doing our homework. And we need you audience to chime in, fact check, and let us know what you're getting too, because we're going to talk about a couple of things. Take note that there will have been a state budget review that's happening. There's a school board meeting coming up. So what we ask you to do is show up. Students, parents, I'm leaning on you as a parent. This is the time for you to get the information. Come on.
Parents,
okay, ladies, let's get information.
And you can bring your kids.
Bring your baby and find out, because when it comes down to our students' education, we're playing no games. Now I'm going to pivot to my next one real quick. I just want to show TLC. You know the song, What About Your Friends?
What about your friends? Will they stand their ground? Will they let you down?
We watching, okay? I want to show this picture right here. This is what we're getting to next week. We're not playing with y'all.
Oh, well, they turn their backs on you.
We're not playing with y'all. This is what we're getting the Camden City government next week. I know everybody's up in a frenzy about who's running for mayor, the other team, the city committee people. We gonna have it out the next time we come together, y'all. So tune in. we are going to be with the recap. Listen, we never claim to know all, but we know some things. And we've been sitting here being fact checkers and history makers for the entire duration of this process. And shout out to the people who were before us that gave us the energy to say, take the baton to the top of the mountaintop. Put the African flag in that mountaintop for us. You hear me? So I'm going to stay, again, to my next one. Careful, y'all. Careful. There's a lot of mess going on. There's a lot of pontificating happening in the city. Now we got time for star power. Now we got time for stuff to happen. But baby, where was this energy at before? Where was this energy at before? Because we needed this a long time ago, and we still are on y'all butts about we don't have jobs. It's a whole bunch of stuff going on in Camden that ain't right. But y'all want to bring people in to smooth over. We got star power. Stop playing in our face.
I don't like it.
Stop playing in our face.
And it's very insulting, by the way. It's very insulting. I just want to say, to just think that because you bring a celebrity, that would persuade votes.
Smooth us over.
Right.
Like, oh, you brought so-and-so and I'm damn.
No,
you did that? You think we that slow and that small-minded?
Yeah, like, stop that.
Listen, again, this is the recap. We do not back down. We tell the truth. We are not going to be intimidated by anybody in political power.
We will not bow down.
We will not bow down. And we also will not bow down to Facebook, social media tough guys.
Yes.
We easy to find in the city. You want to say something to us, say it. And I want to make this very clear. I'm saying it out loud. I'm saying it right now. Attacking an organizer, an activist, an advocate is out of line.
Out of line.
Totally out of line. Listen. Y'all don't know the people that we know in the city.
Violation.
And what y'all doing to people by doing that kind of petty stuff and that non-adult stuff, out of line. We letting y'all know we watching everything that's going on. We got y'all.
Violation, sis.
Violation. Just putting it out there. If y'all don't know about it, look it up. But Facebook ain't the way we talk. We talking directly to you. You see us on these streets. So anyway, Dre, next slide. Stay focused. I'm focused. Thank you, Tab.
You focus.
I'm back to fact. So what's happening? Let's pull up some of the flyers, Dre. What we got going on? Number one, waiting for Dre to pull it up. We got some things to talk about. Show us, Dre. Yes, the Green Team. Dean, we're back on the streets.
Green Team.
So we're back on the street, canvassing, door knocking. If you're interested in being a part of the Green Team.
Wait a minute.
Come on.
Y'all thought we was finished?
Y'all thought we was finished. Come on, Meek Millie. The Green Team is happening. We got a listening session happening. So look for the flyer on social media, on my page, on Dean's page, on everybody's page.
Yes.
Tune into that. Next one, Dre. We have what else is going on? Oh, Camp Excellence. Camden Camp Excellence. We are doing, so y'all won't say, oh, y'all always just so angry. No, we are moms and we are parents. We are doing a camp for our children this summer. If you are interested in being a part of this camp,
bring the children.
Come on, bring the children. Next slide, Dre. What else we got? Next one. We also want to say the recap is back. So if you want to tune in to our correspondent Janice Dean and myself, Ronsha Dickerson, and we'll have other guests on too. Come on and be a part of the recap. We love it. We love to have you. We'll be on Thursdays again on Camden Parent and Student Union's Facebook page. You'll see us there. So get your people tuned in and ready to go. You can catch us live on here. And the last one, Dre. What else we got going on?
Tell everybody to bring a friend.
Tell them to tuck in. It's one on. We did the camp. We did. That's all of them. I think we did everything.
We good?
All right. We got one more. Oh, Dre said we got one more. Sorry, y'all.
He's looking.
There it is. That's the one, Dre. You named it. Also, for those folks who want to get more involved in civic education and community leadership and power building, we're doing a 4-week training. It started last Wednesday, every Wednesday in May, this month of May, 7 p.m. on virtually. We're doing a civics leadership and voting education training. We're getting people geared up to become voters. We're getting people geared up to know more about civics, like know who the people are that are in elected office.
Tell us what civics means.
So we've gotten to civics. So people don't really understand about civics. Civics is what used to be taught inside of schools. Mm-hmm. People used to get civics in their world history classes and also in like their kind of like social justice, social management classes. And it's a time for us to know our responsibility as a constituent or a resident or a citizen of the country. Mm-hmm. Our jobs consist of going to public meetings, knowing who our elected officials are, voting, keeping our communities clean. There's so many things that fall under civics, but if we don't know civics, the basic things about civic education, we will be in a spiral like this where we have low voter turnout. We have people not registered. Mm-hmm. We have people politicking us to believe that they are the best candidate because they believe that they have a machine that will make it work. So get into these civics with us. This is very young person friendly. Yeah. People who are in 9th grade to 12th grade can join us. We are also registering people online to be registered to vote for primary, because you can still register to vote for primary up until May 20th.
May 20th, yeah.
And then we're getting you ready for the gubernatorial election coming up. Gubernatorial election coming up in November. So we're not playing, y'all. We are in a movement right now. It's not a moment, it's a movement. All right.
What I tell you, Sister Mary Clarence
What
said.
she say?
If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention.
Honey, you better pay attention. Honestly, Dean, listen. So that's what's going on. We always close with who got next. Whoever want to be on the show or chime in, let us know. Again, we are not here to argue. We're here to state the truth. Okay? And that's what we do. So this is the recap. We love y'all. Remember the quote from Amilcar Cabral. Hide nothing from the masses of our people. We won't do that. We will tell you the truth. And we love you all to talk back to us in the chat. And we'll close with this right here for our folks. We want to tell y'all peace.
Peace.
Thank y'all for hanging in there with us. And for the recap broadcast, if you are interested in being one of our on-the-ground correspondents, hit us up at info@camdenpsu.com. And also, if you'd like us to highlight something that you're doing in the community, this is what we're here for. This platform is for you. Let us know what you got going on. Emails over there at info@camdenpsu.com. And we want to tell y'all this. Continue to drink your water, as you've seen us doing.
Drink your water.
And keep it pushing. Keep moving and keep it pushing. That's it. Who got next, y'all? Let us know.
We out.
We out. Thanks, y'all. Thanks, Dean. Love the Dean.
Love
Janice
you
Dean.
too. You already know.